Capricorn, this is your March tarot reading. They've all been quite psychological. Well, you know, tarot is psychological. It's about how these energies impact on your psychology. It's not really fortune telling at all because you have free will. And I think yours looks quite psychological as well. The overall energy is the King of Cups, King of Love, but he's fairly sophisticated. He sort of knows what he's doing. Yeah, sort of knows what he's doing. Been there before. Can see through things. In your recent past, we have the Ten of Cups. Real love, you know, happy families. That was the past. Now you're gripped by fear. I think a good many of us are gripped by fear. It's fear of the unknown, but it's not a good feeling, is it? Just done Cancer's reading, you know, and it was all about how this fear porn is destroying our lives, really. Now, just like Cancer, there's great hope here. You're going to come out of this with great joy, with great hope. Yeah, as though your ship's come in, so, you know. But what leads to the outcome is yet more deception. We all know how much we've been deceived. And you're going to be deceived once more, it would seem. They might not get away with it this time, however. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it, that you completely see through it. And you're not actually deceived, it's an attempted deception. What would change it is you having a broken heart, and does feel a bit like Cancer's. Cancer got disillusioned and walked away. But maybe something breaks your heart. Is this about love? Well, it could be, couldn't it? We had that happy families there in the past. Deception and broken heart. Maybe I've got it wrong. I need to keep an open mind on this one. Maybe it's nothing like Cancer's. The outcome, Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Love. So we've got King of Love, Queen of Love. Did we have another love? Oh yeah, we had the Ten of Cups. The sort of happy families card. Maybe it is about love. Queen of Love, you emerge the Queen of Love. A little bit vulnerable, but somebody that's full of love. Loves everybody and everybody loves her. So maybe not such a bad reading after all, but some challenges for sure. So stick with me as we try and understand them. The overall energy is that of the King of Cups, full of love. Compassionate towards others, understanding. Somebody that understands his own emotions, been there, done that. Know what's going on, knows about it. Do you become this way as a result of adversity in March? I don't think so. I think you've been through quite a bit already, and that is how you are. This runs throughout it, so you have understanding throughout. So despite the being fear porn out there, you can see through it really. You can rise above things, yeah. You're not being too fazed by anything. You can see through it. But, you know, we're all being challenged right now. We're all being tested. We're all being challenged. And you're not by yourself in this. But this is a lovely energy to have right here. Now, in the past, we have a happy families type of energy. Is that how it was? Do you still feel like that? Or has that all come tumbling down? You look at it, they're on that sort of pedestal, aren't they? You know, so much in love. They've got their little son below them. 2 Scotty dogs. But everyone can see them. Is that lady with the tarot, is she looking up jealously? And they're oblivious to the fact that it looks like warships are going through the background. Gosh, is that a metaphor for life today? Could be, couldn't it? Could be. Now you're gripped by fear, fear of the unknown. Has this marriage come to an end? Or it doesn't have to be a marriage, has this relationship come to an end? I don't think we know. I don't think we know. But you're gripped by fear. Remember there was those, I was going to call them spaceships. They're not spaceships, are they? Military sort of, well, they're blimps, aren't they? The military air vehicles in the background. Are you worried about seemingly constant wars? Are you worried about who we're told is a madman with his finger on the nuclear trigger? Are you married? Are you worried about these crazy Muslims, and that you could be next on her list? What is it that you're worried about? And you're clever enough to see through it. It's all fear porn being created to turn us into compliant little piglets. But we all get caught up in this from time to time, don't we? I think you allow this fear to get the better of you. I don't think that you allow it to trouble you too much. It's sort of a learning process, March. It does seem to be for all signs so far. And you come out of this full of joy, full of hope, full of love. Like your wishes have been answered, So there's massive hope in this. There really is massive hope in this reading. It's as though we all have to go through this fear, through these worries, through this distress, in order to come out the other side much happier and reborn, as it were. You're frightened of? Well, you're frightened of the unknown, that's all it is. We're all frightened of the unknown. There's more deception coming. This deception has quite a profound impact on you. I think because you catch them out. And as a result of it, you resolve to change. Is this deception related to your partner? Remember that Happy Families card? It could be. It could be. But I'm not certain that it is. I've got a friend, I don't know if this is a true story yet, I've not got to the bottom of it. But he got to the very top of his industry, if you like. And he's due for retirement, but because he got to the top, he's allowed to carry on working, as it were. Not in the top job, but, So he's got a good pension and, he's earned reasonable money over his life. And he decided to build a very nice coffee shop at the back of his house. But it is at the back of his house, it's not easy to see. And his house isn't in the best of places to be opening retail or, catering type establishment. Not something that's open to the public. And he spent an awful lot of money on it. And I think he's beginning to realise that he'll never get his money back, even though he's doing reasonably well. Because people come in to use his Wi-Fi and spend all day there and have 2 or 3 cups of coffee and a snack. He will never pay back the money that it's cost him to build the establishment. So he wants to see me, and I'm sure it's to ask me for some money. Now I've already completely seen through it, and it will be the end of our friendship if he asks me, because quite honestly, how damn rude can you get, knowing that I used to teach at an international business school? I mean, had he asked me before he spent all that money, I'd have told him that was just waste your money. I'd have also told him to come up with his empty plate cost before he does anything, and I doubt if he's any idea what his empty plate cost is. So I think it's a situation like that, where it does deflate you, but you don't necessarily get fooled, Now, I'm sorry if my March readings are sounding a little bit depressing, because I don't mean them to be. But yeah, you know, even though I don't know that this is what's going on with my friend, I've already talked myself into being heartbroken as a result. You know, the disrespect, not only trying to pull the wool over my eyes, but in not giving me the, you know, this is what I taught at a major international business school. It's not giving me the credit of knowing what I'm doing. It's so insulting. And it's broken my little heart. Well, I've got to get over it, and you've got to get over it. And I'm pretty certain you do. Don't dwell on this broken heart, because it'll make everything much worse. No. Focus on love, because you're good at that. That the overall reading is about you being the King of Cups, King of Hearts, King of Love, sorry, King of Compassion, King of Understanding. Well, now we have the Queen. So, you know, yeah, you are somebody that's full of love, somebody that's full of love, somebody that's full of compassion. Does that mean that you forgive this deception? I don't know. But by return, you know, I mean, this deception's a minor thing to me. I don't know them, even though I call them a friend. I mean, truth is, I live in Indonesia. I don't have any friends. You know, all of the British people that I used to know have long since gone. I find it pretty impossible to make friends, real friends, deep friends with Indonesians. Largely because they always do something like this to me, you know. But, you know, I've got a very loving family, and I love my wife very much, and I'm quite happy here. So why would I allow something like this to play on my mind? And I'm sure it's the same with you, you know. If you can focus on love, everything's going to be all right. You don't need to worry, you know. Just focus on love and you'll attract good things into your life. Honestly, you will, Capricorn. I think we need a bit of clarification. Have I got any of this right? So let's look at this deception card. Well, the first card is we have the Knight of Pentacles. You're slow and determined, but moving very slowly. Slow and determined. I mean, you're determined and reliable, but things are moving slowly. Next is the Fool card, starting all over again with a wide-eyed innocence. And then we have the Death card, sudden and unexpected ending. Gosh, I'm not sure I have got the measure of this. The energies are right, but what's going on? Let's look at each individually. The first clarification card, and remember we're clarifying this deception, which I don't think they get away with. Maybe I'm wrong. But this first card of clarity is this Knight of Pentacles. Very dependable and very determined. Is that somebody that's very dependable and determined to cheat you? I don't think it is. I think this is you. And it's somebody that moves rather slowly. Maybe you're a bit like me, that you allow people enough rope to hang themselves, and that's what you're watching. You're watching this deception play out rather slowly. Yeah, that feels like that might be right. Now we have the Fool card. Going off on a new journey, starting something differently, with a wide-eyed innocence. This comes from this deception card. It's clarifying the deception. It's like the deception is about something that you don't really want anything to do with. And you're saying, well, the deception won't happen if I move away from it. I mean, is this deception in love? It could be, you know, because we had that love card in the past. We've got a broken heart as well. Do you know, if it is about love, it doesn't have to be about love, but let's just say it's about love. I wonder if this is you saying, okay, I'm prepared to forgive and forget, we'll start again. And maybe this is the biggest deception, that it continues. Maybe that's it. Do you know that? I'm thinking that's what it is. Not necessarily that it's about love, but this is something that you said, okay, I'm magnanimous, I'm prepared to forgive and forget. Yes, remember we've got the king of compassion and understanding. So you're compassionate and understanding, and you say, yeah, we'll start off all over again. And you say, yeah, we'll start off again with, you know, forget about it, you know. Let's start off again, start off afresh. Pretend it didn't happen. And they keep doing it. They keep doing it. And, you know, I'm not talking about my friend with a restaurant now, a cafe, coffee shop. Because I don't even know if I've got the true story yet, although I think I have. But it is that this happens to me. I get in a situation like this about once a week. And, you know, what do I do? Do I stop speaking to Indonesians, even though I live in their country? And you know, I'm not trying to say that the expats who live here are any better. But yeah, about once a week somebody tries to take money from me or deceive me out of money. You know, and I've learnt not to give it, you know. I mean, the last time I gave any major sum of money was just over a year ago, when one of my brothers came to me and said, and he was desperate, and I said, look, I can give you this much as a gift, or I can give you this much, but it has to be a loan. And he took the money for the loan, and we have not heard anything whatsoever from him since then. So yeah, we are a little, well, I am a little broken-hearted, you know, and yes, I've learned. But I think you're being tested, aren't you? That's what it's about, yeah. Well, we can summarise for you now. Capricorn, is this all about love? It could be. It could be about families and love, but it doesn't have to be. Certainly in the past, we have an energy that is similar to that of being in a happy family situation and potentially other people being jealous of you. Overall, the energy is one of you being compassionate, understanding, full of love, quite sophisticated with your emotions and understanding those of others. There is fear in your life. There is fear. I think that's more than simply a fear that may come from this love relationship. I think it's to do with the fear porn that's all around us. And you're not immune. And that's why I'm not that happy at nailing my colours to the mast and saying that a loved one tries to deceive you. It might be much more than that, but certainly there's deception here. I'm pretty certain you spot it. You've given them enough rope to hang themselves. You spotted it and confronted them. And you've given them the opportunity for you to start afresh, start things over, forgetting about it. And they keep doing it, and it brings a nasty end to everything. If you allow that to break your heart, then things will not turn out so well for you. But I don't think you do. Remember, you You're full of love. You're fairly sophisticated in terms of your emotions and those of others. You're fairly understanding, even though possibly like me, you're being so tested, you see it all around you as children. You know, yeah, you want to nurture them, but you can't believe that the world is full of children, you know? Including those people who claim to be our betters. When you look at their motivation, it's playground, absolutely playground. And you can see through it all now, just like I can. Yeah, so you're full of love, and you know that by enjoying yourself, seeing the best in things, you will get the best. So don't dwell on the broken heart. Don't dwell on what might have gone wrong. Keep your vibrations high, Capricorn, even in these difficult times.